Welcome back. On today's Dungeon Design Drive-By, we take a look at a one-shot that I like to call Merryhunt, Festival of Many Meats. I'm Mark William, and you're watching By DND. Our adventure begins here in the town of Saferock, home to a population of halflings who are able to live off the plentiful herds of animals nearby. Saferock was constructed at the center of a vast open grassland that is home to many different beasts, and for the halflings who love to eat
many types of meats.
However, dangerous bullets, also known as land sharks, prowl beneath the surface, hunting their favorite type of prey, halflings. They're like a delicacy for them. And so, every year, Saferock holds the Merryhunt, Festival of Meats, whereby four of the best halflings from the 4 districts of Saferock are chosen to brave the dangerous grasslands to hunt and store up enough meat for the coming year. This year, Lizzie Lightfoot, Bippo Feet for Shoes, Jabaldi Hairy Furry, and Jacobo Dinchannel were selected to participate and gather as much meat as possible for the community of Saferock. Saying goodbye to their loved ones, the adventurers set out to brave the grasslands and the danger of the bullets, which might fall upon them at any moment. Alright, this one-shot has essentially 2 parts and is designed to have a group of all halflings. That's not entirely necessary, and feel free to switch it up as you see fit, but I feel for this one-shot having everyone from the same race and town is important, as we'll see later. Part 1 involves setting the scene as I just did. However, I would add a few other key notes to really immerse the players right off the bat. At the start, have the mayor give a celebratory speech to the whole town, whereby he mentions that last year's Merryhunt was so successful and they have high hopes this year. And before players leave, make sure you have families for each player that they must say goodbye to and possibly never see again.
This will connect the players to the town,
and also introduce some stakes right off the bat and allow for some consequences later on. We'll talk about that later. Overall, players should feel that the pressure is on them to perform. Once they leave the town, the players will begin hunting different beasts and collecting a certain amount of food. Let's say 2 kills from 4 different beast types. Have players make stealth checks at both 60 feet and 30 feet to ensure they do not scare the beasts away, anger them to attack, or give their position away to the dreaded bullets. Players will have a choice to attack the herds together, independently, or devise other strategies to obtain the meat. However they choose to tackle it, ultimately, it will lead to combat encounters that they will need to successfully overcome. After players successfully gather the meat, again, you can choose what the final goal is in this regard. Players will return to Saferock as heroes, or will they? This is when part 2 begins. Remember the bullets? Well, hopefully the players are on edge about this the whole time they're hunting. Any failed stealth checks should elicit a sense of fear that a bullet might attack. Bullets have an instinctual ability called tremor sense that detects vibrations in the ground, and as I said, they love devouring wayward halflings. However, there will be a strange absence of bullets while the players hunt, and any missed stealth rolls will only result in the animals themselves attacking or running away, as I mentioned earlier. It's when the adventurers return home
that you sit the bullets on them and all safe.
Once back in town, and when appropriate, have players roll initiative, as a bullet has been stalking the group and is now circling beneath the surface outside the town. Remember the districts? Each round, roll a d4, and that is where the bullet will strike. Bullets can burrow beneath the ground and can jump at great heights, so you can switch up how the monster attacks for effect. Now, each time the bullet attacks, it will kill one of the family members in that quadrant. After doing so, it will stay 1 round in that quadrant until disengaging and burrowing away back to circle the town once more. Next round, another d4 will be rolled and it will attack again. The idea being that the players must strategize about where to go and when. Do they gather in one quadrant, hoping the beast attacks there, or do they split up to protect their own families, or do they devise some other way to combat the beast? It's up to them, but ultimately they are at the whims of a die roll. Now, if a player is in a quadrant where the bulette appears, I'd say it is unable to devour a family member, for example. And readying attacks is another tactic players will hopefully employ as well. Moreover, I'd allow players to make perception checks against the bulette's stealth to give players a chance to predict where it might appear, which might mean I tell players that they know it's definitely not coming to quadrant 4 this round. And so, if I roll my d4, I'll re-roll the 4s. It just won't go there. It'll either be 1, 2, or 3. Now, the family should remain in their respective districts for full effect. I don't want to say rule, but remember, each combat round is only 6 seconds of real time, and remind players that bulettes are super fast and skilled hunters too. So this attack is happening fast, and the scene is chaotic. And I believe that's enough justification as to why players can't just shuffle everyone together into one quadrant. But it could happen, and if it does, I'd then have the bulette appear and simply stick around and fight it out over the entire town. Anyways, that's it. I hope you can now see why having all players halflings adds to the danger of facing the bulette. Essentially, by the end of this one shot, the hunters have become the hunted, and their poor families in town might never be the same. And as always, for added intensity or higher level characters, simply add more bulettes. And so, it seems the annual Merryhunt Festival of Meats was a bit of a disaster this time around.
Too bad it wasn't like last year, cries the mayor.
Anyways, try it out at your table and let me know what happens to your small but brave group of halflings. Till next time, remember, all D&D, all day long, all night till dawn.